Hey there, everybody. Welcome to Beer with the Boss. Today, we're diving into the exciting world of curating products with AI. So, join us as we explore the fascinating possibilities of artificial intelligence and how it shapes the future of product development. We'll discuss how businesses can harness the power of AI to drive innovation and stay ahead in today's dynamic tech landscape. So, let's raise a glass to the raise of AI and talk today with our friend invited today to this podcast. I'm not going to say who he is yet. It's always a surprise, our guests. You know that I'm Rodrigo Matos. I work at Webera.
And I'm Joe Zamboni, founder and CEO at Webera, co-host of the show. And we're here to explore this new brave word that everyone is talking about all the time. Like we were discussing earlier. It's like, anyway, you're going to hear. But today we have a guest. He's working with us on some projects. I want to introduce you to Vinicius Nascimento. He's working, he was at Webera. It seems a long time, but he's less than a year, right, Vinicius? Tell us a little bit about you. And before we continue, Rodrigo, what are you drinking?
So I'm drinking a beer that's one of my favorites. I drank this like a couple of times in this podcast already. It's a Baden-Baden wheat beer. With like coriander and orange. How about you, Joe?
Today I came to the source. I am here at a brewery called Lost Rhino in Ashburn, Virginia. I'm drinking a IPA called Face Plant. And it's a special episode today. How about you, Vinicius?
My name is Vinicius Nascimento. I joined Webera 6 months ago, about 7 months now. Yeah, I'm a DevOps engineer here. And I've been also, starting working with AI recently, so I'm also, a newbie, but yeah, pretty excited regarding that. And yeah, I'm drinking actually. I got a Red Bull here because I actually don't drink, so it's the closest thing I have to a beer. And yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's cool,
man.
Yeah, man. We're back, Rodrigo. We're back to that people that don't drink.
I don't know what's going on. I guess we have to talk to Hey Jar. It has to be one of the questions in the questionnaire. Like, what's your favorite beer? Joking, of course. People who don't drink are always like welcome to join. Like Vinicius, you're not actually our first guest who doesn't drink. Many of our guests don't drink, but Joe and I, we have to like keep the tradition. We don't really like drinking, right, Joe? It's just like in terms of like keeping the traditions.
Yeah.
That's why Joe's in a brewery today. But anyway,
exactly.
So, very cool, guys. Thank you so much for joining us, Vinicius. Very excited to talk to you today a little bit about AI and developing projects with AI. But before I ask you a question, I want to ask Joel a question as the founder of Webera and the CEO. Joel, what inspired you and what was the reason why Webera decided to explore AI for product creation?
For the last 3 months or so after November, after the launch of ChatGPT, we don't really have a way to not use AI. It's like either we use or we're out. But besides that, we've been helping other companies for the last 2 years, I think 3 years, maybe. Yeah, 3 years. We are supporting other companies like Interos and other companies developing AI products. But until last November, we were just supporting the backend, not really developing any products using AI. But then with the launch of our product Green Mainframe, and a client of ours, one of our clients, came up with an idea because he has an enterprise portal, and then he wants to develop a chat that would answer questions about could be a chat GPT customized with their own website data. We started, myself first and others, we start to develop a kind of skunk work project using ChatGPT and the other tools, like trying to understand how could we use the new generative AI tools to create this customized version of ChatGPT. And with that, Vinicius is DevOps, but he's also a Python developer. So he you wants to join other projects at the company. I was like, yeah, let's do it. And he's being great. He's learning super fast, and we are working on this since like a month ago or so, and then we already have something ready to go. It's like unbelievable how fast he's learning and how fast we are developing this thing.
Yeah, AI is everywhere, right? I think I was talking to you during the weekend, right? That my Twitter was all about politics. Like my feed on Twitter was all about politics a few months ago. From January to now is AI, 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 AI. It's all about AI. And it's so great to see how like the community is also open to share experiences, and that's our idea today, to share what Betta's experience with AI and what are we learning. So Vinicius, was this your first time developing with AI, and what kind of challenges did you face so far in the development process, and how did you address these challenges?
This was my first time working with AI. I actually had worked before with a chatbot, but it was didn't involve AI, and it was a chatbot for Slack. Yeah, this time we're creating a some kind of chatbot, but using AI. Yeah, it was pretty new to me. Joe mentioned I've Python programmer as well, but I didn't have any experience with AI before. I did have some experience with NumPy, working with the NumPy library, and also with pandas. So it also gave me some advantage to start, but it was everything new to me. So I've been pretty excited, seeing the news, and as you mentioned, it's on the news every day. Every day we see everything, something new regarding AI, and it's pretty exciting. And I was able to learn a lot since I joined the project last month. I think for me the hard part was to understand like the concepts behind the scenes. Because when you see like ChatGPT, you see there you can like you type your prompt, it answers, but you know it looks really simple. But once you start understanding what's happening behind the scenes, you start learning about embeddings like tokens, like the context vector database, these kind of things. That's when things get a little hard. But it also gets easy once you start to understand these concepts. Once you grasp like the scheme and how things work. But yeah, it's been pretty nice. A really nice experience.
Do you have any kind of strategies that or some resources that were helpful for you in terms of learning how to work with AI?
Yeah, so GitHub repositories is the main source for me. And also AI itself, ChatGPT. I've been using it almost daily. It's like I improved Google for me. You can answer a question, you have the exact answer for what you need. But I've been using mostly the GitHub repositories. For example, OpenAI has a lot of repositories showcasing their products, their API, and like various use cases for many applications that you can take a look there, and you understand how it's created and the basics, so you can apply in your in your own context. So yeah, and also some YouTube videos. It's always nice to see some videos and seeing other people working with the things that you are going to start working as well. So yeah, these have been the sources for me, the main sources, and the documentation as well. But as I mentioned, GitHub repositories, they also have the documentation there, so it's actually the main source for me.
Maybe we can link some of those repositories and there's documentations when on the show notes. Yeah, yeah. Vinicius mentioned like it's reading and be kind of open minded about what it is, because that if you overthink, it can be very hard. But if you let it like just keep trying, keep working with it, it comes out like at the beginning, like the embeddings is something very complicated. The first time that you see, right, is like how the heck this work? And then there's a vector database. It was like you do some math that approximates like, and then and then it's like okay, and then you see the code that actually does like, and you see that it actually sends a chat to the model, like your own conversation with the model is a chat. So you have to, instead of interacting with an API, you interact using a chat. So it's like there's no API to talk. There is an API, but like you talk with the model. It's different. It's a different approach to the old model. I guess GitHub is really an important tool. You have to be familiar with the platform and all the repositories that are there. There are many things that could help you there. And YouTube, like you just mentioned, there's many good channels that do give you an idea, basic idea, and then you go from there.
The Jupyter notebooks. It's a pretty good source, for testing, for understanding the concepts, because it's like it's Python, but it's like in an easy way. You can execute things like just clicking, the code is there, just clicking pieces of code you can execute separated. You don't have to execute like the whole thing together, like a script, for example. So you can, and usually these AI tutorials, they use these Jupyter notebooks. So you can like go there and step by step you follow the tutorial and see the code, you see the output there. And it's really helpful to understand these concepts as well.
Yeah, if you want to start for free, you can use like Google Colab, sorry, Google Colab. It's for free. You can have a notebook there, very easy, and start playing with Python and with the entire ecosystem for free. So it's really cool.
That's great. So for you guys listening to us who are interested in starting to work with AI, we're going to leave a list of documentation and maybe channels you can reach to and like consume content from to get started with creating projects using AI, just like we're doing. And Vinicius, I want to ask you a question now about the future. What are some specific use cases or applications of AI that you are excited to explore in like product creation, or like you're excited to see people exploring maybe in the future?
Yeah, I'm excited to see how AI is going to, be integrated to the cloud providers. Like what kind of services they're going to create. I saw that recently, I think 2 or 3 days ago, Amazon announced some products, some services that related to AI that they created. They even created like some kind of, it's like a rival to Copilot. So it's Code Whisper using AI, and also they announced some other products involving AI and models from Hugging Face and other sources there. So I'm very excited to see like how the other cloud providers are also going to, you know, speed up and announce their products. I don't know. Yeah, I'm pretty excited to see how it's going in these companies.
I guess the same. Like, see, not only cloud providers, but like there's like so many .ai products launching right now. There's like literally like there was a website that had a list, like literally a small list of products. Now there's database like Product Hunt. It's all about a dot something .ai. It's unbelievable. It's like there's so many things that is inspiring, because like if you think about, there is like we are in like we can be, AI could be worse than a nuclear bomb or could be something good, right?
Hopefully.
It's like either we is gonna destroy half of humanity because like people be without job or without with like or be talking with AI gonna die. Like there was a guy who died like a couple weeks ago. Was talking to ChatGPT and killed himself. Or we'll have so many ideas being developed that we'll have a new renaissance, right? Like the internet caused, like we will have a new golden age or something like that. So I thinking that we probably will have the second one, the new renaissance, but still we may have a couple months or years until we get to that point where all those ideas start to flourish and give more and more opportunities, because now we can solve problems that we knew that we had, but we are not, like, an example. There is a company that we are working with. We help them with solving some problems on transferring data. They have a machine who kills weed in the middle of, without using chemicals or anything. They go and remove the weeds, like, because they take pictures, they analyze which are weed, which are the good plants, and then kill the others, like, by removing them, which is amazing. And you have no pesticides and things like that. And, like, I saw it works. It's like they're using their machine, and it's cheaper than pesticides. It's healthier, like green, don't kill bad things, like amazing, don't kill good things. Sorry, it's it's a problem that we thought that would never be possible. Like, you have to use a human, that sometimes you take a plant by hand. Like, we are working on an idea with a partner that we want to explore, like, those ECG, right? Uh, we have some access to some ECG data that we might explore an idea to build some model that could help read or understand. There's probably many people doing. We don't know if you have still have a chance, because many people probably are doing this. But all those problems that, like, it takes years of someone to study and learn, AI can just do it. Like, by comparing images, like, we don't need to teach a person, and then the person can do something else, can learn something else, instead of studying years to understand an image and to be able to help someone. And at the point, like, we can save more lives. So I don't know what's I think is good. You just have to wait a little bit and not be afraid, like the Google CEO, that I think yesterday he gave an interview that AI could not be in the hands of one company or something like that. Hey, dude, you're afraid of
Yeah.
what?
I'm an optimistic. I like to think that in maybe a couple of years, you're going to be living like the Jetsons, not like the Flintstones. You're going to be like,
Yeah.
who knows? Yeah, maybe that's what we needed. So this question is for both of you as well. You both are involved in product development with AI, and of course, the user is the most important thing, right? The user experience. At the end, if the user doesn't buy it or if the user doesn't have a good experience, it's not worth it. So, Vinicius, I want to start with you. How do you anticipate the AI impact to the user experience, both in the products that you're developing and just like in products that people are developing out there as well?
I think that no, of course, it's going to improve a lot, but mainly because of these like specific use cases that AI can provide. For example, I just mentioned that I started using it a lot more in almost daily, replacing Google for me, for example, in most cases, because I can write a prompt and I receive a better answer than Google most of the times. And it's really specific. I can ask some really specific questions and I'll get an answer there. So I think these kinds of situations, where you need some more detailed specifications, more specific use case, is going to improve a lot. That's how I see it, for now. Not sure about you, Joe.
Yeah, I guess, like an example, we had these generative AIs in other platforms, for even OpenAI, right? We had for years now. I think the Google paper is from 2017 or 2018, something like that. And I guess what ChatGPT did was create a right interface for the beast, right? So now we have one easy way to interact. So UI and UX will be very important going forward on how to interact with AIs and things like that. Like, I think Midjourney or something like that is one AI that generates beautiful images and things like that, and they're using Discord to do that. So I think the chat or the command line interface is back to talk with AI, but there is voice. There is many other. I think the new version of ChatGPT with the I forgot the name, but it's like it gives the ability of ChatGPT to connect to the internet, but it's like limited access. So there's those plugins that you can chat with external versions of the ChatGPT and look up Flight or something. So it's all going to meet one place. One thing that I think Google probably is aware of this, but I don't know how they plan to do that. Is like one thing that it frustrates me on ChatGPT is that if I start to talk with it in without following a previous prompt or something, without telling exactly what I want or customize it by explaining in details what I want, it doesn't do. One thing that I was thinking the other day that like Bard, the Google version, could use my data and customize itself to me. So it when I ask a question, it would be nice if I already know me and know that I like Kubernetes or that I like I don't know pizza, that I always order
Yeah, I was
pizza
going to
to.
say like your favorite pizza place because they know everything.
Exactly, they know that I go to Japanese place close to my house every week. So there's like all these details that they know about me. If they use Bard, it would be not smarter, but for me, it would look more customized to me. And I know that will be the privacy guys saying like, "Oh, you giving up your privacy for some." It's like they already know that. It's just that I don't use information for me.
At least it would help
It's like,
me somehow.
yeah, it's like at least you help me, I guess. But because they already know this, either them or the government or someone already have all my data because I'm a digital person, right? I have all my data in computers and things like that. So I guess there's no escape from that unless you live without being connected. But like, I guess I think it's part of the UX, not the UI, but a part of UX. So I think it's coming also. That's my thought. How about you, Rodrigo? As a product owner, what do you think about this?
The other day, I saw this guy who integrated ChatGPT or OpenAI to his MacBook and to Siri, and he was developing a website using voice command, and it was amazing. It was amazing. He was just like saying, create like a menu bar with this, and that color, blah blah blah. Create a form, blah blah blah, and deploy it to my repository, and it was there. So only using voice command. I thought that was crazy. I thought that was like, of course, it was not like a beautiful, like very detailed website, but he created a website only by giving instructions to his like voice assistant. I thought it was amazing. As I said, I hope that we are closer to the Jetsons than going back to the Flintstones, and I think that this is going to happen. And yeah, it's just we have no. I guess we have no like way to go back now. All these
I
guys are
hope not. I hope
yeah.
not.
All these guys are saying like, oh, like be
I mean,
careful
Italy
with
went back,
AI.
right? Italy went
What?
back, right? Italy went
What
back.
happened?
They blocked the ChatGPT in Italy.
Oh,
Really?
is this they're still blocked there?
I think so. Yeah, yeah. It's funny because I saw some memes like the guys like everybody in the street in the like playing in the street, and then a guy behind the window like all the rest of the world developers and then the Italian developers behind a behind a window looking outside like because they can't, right, they can't use, right, like it's like either AI or people who uses AI who will survive, right? It's
Yeah,
like one of the two.
exactly.
It's like if you're not using AI, you're definitely out of the game.
Yeah, I think because there's also a lot more, involved like copyright and these things. Because I also heard like these days someone complaining about how GitHub Copilot used a lot of codes, open source code to without asking for permission, in their database, and they were like planning to actually sue, Google for GitHub for that.
I think they did. They did it.
They did.
Yeah, there is a lawsuit here.
Yes.
But I mean, who copied first, right? It's like not really many options to do these days. Still, I think the hardest part, like the weekend I was testing Auto GPT, which is like ChatGPT talking with itself and with Google. I gave some goals and it was like processing, thinking, getting data from one place to another, the research. I was like, fuck, this thing is still, the AI can plan everything, but there is some human who has to execute the thing. It's like it doesn't do everything by itself. There is a human that has to take the thing because we are the, believe it or not, we are the what's called, we are the source or the motivation. We have it. It's ours. It's not theirs. Not AI.
I look forward to seeing like some sort of AI who can help me maybe in terms of user experience, just like understanding and having better insights maybe or quicker insights on how to change stuff or like create different stuff for like a better UX. We have like Google Analytics giving insights for a while now, but I want to know that my users are not, I don't know, interested in some sort of, I don't know, option I give them to click, or they're not really using my app the way I expected them to use. And I guess like the AI could definitely help on that pretty soon. All the information is there.
There is a problem with that. That's like much of these data is private right now. It's like people are writing internal documents and things like that. So much of the product, it's actually private. So we're gonna probably, when the AI learn with itself, we'll have more data to talk about it. Like it's like the real secret sauce of many products is not their code actually. It's like how they treat their users, how the workflow works. Like that's why, like even when you think about launching a new product, people say, go, you have to develop your MVP and go to the market, because that's when you start to get feedback and then you start to learn, and then that's your real executing is really important. It's gold. Executing is gold. So, and that's hidden behind years of doing things. So AI doing that really gonna learn and then could use against us or in favor of us. I have no more beer.
Neither do I. Do you have any Red Bull left, Vinicius? Vinicius, thank you so much for joining us today, man. It was great. I hope that you can join us for an episode in the future as well. And well,
thank you guys.
More than welcome. Thank you so much.
Thanks for the invitation as well.
Thank you. Thank you,
guys.
Joe.
Thank you, Rodrigo.
See you next week, man.
See you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.